We are literally just days away from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet finally being released, and I am so excited. So I thought today it might be fun to just talk about everything I am so excited to see and try out in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and add in some things I hope to see when the game finally launches. Now, when we're talking about things I would love to see, I'm gonna keep realistic, okay? I already know there's probably not voice acting, and the game is probably not going to have a stable FPS. Asking for those things is out of the question, so I'm going to keep realistic with things I'm hoping to see, and I just want to use this video to get more excited for the game. Now, bear in mind when I talk about all of these things, I'm actually pretty spoiler-free somehow. So all I've seen are all the trailers and the website for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Other than that, I know nothing. So just bear that in mind when I talk about everything I cannot wait to see or hope to see in the game. Oh, and by the way, I'm also streaming the game right here on my YouTube channel on Friday, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out. The first thing I want to touch on is how excited I am to try something different with the story. We already know there's going to be 3 different storylines: the gyms, a treasure hunt, and one they haven't really mentioned. Which, side note, I cannot wait to see what the gym leaders are like, what the gyms are like, and what weird quests we're going to have to do inside the gyms to get to the gym leader. I also cannot wait for the music. One of my favorite things in Pokemon Sword and Shield was the Gym Dynamax battle music. It literally made the battles seem so epic, and I cannot wait to see if they do something similar with the music in this game. Now, the thing I really hope with all of these stories is they're a little meatier than Pokemon Sword and Shield. You know, in Sword and Shield, when they'll be like, yo, there's something really scary going on, and then you get told not to worry about it and continue on your quest to be the best gym leader? I want it to be more like Arceus, where they didn't really care that you were a kid and left it up to you to save the whole world by yourself. I'm also looking forward to the possibility of some of these storylines not being as battle-orientated as a gym storyline. I love the fact that they've already told us that trainer battles, for example, are basically on an opt-in basis. If you don't want to do the trainer battle, you just ignore the person, and if you want to do it, you run up and talk to them. And I'm hoping that might be because the treasure hunt storyline, or possibly the 3rd storyline, aren't really that battle heavy. I would love that, as battling to me is probably one of my least favorite parts in Pokemon. I'm also interested to see if there's any like quests outside of the main story. You know, like in Breath of the Wild when you'd run around and someone would have a problem so you'd fix it. I haven't seen anything to say this is going to happen, but it's just something I'd love to see to make the whole Pokemon world feel a little bit more alive. After all, you kind of turn out to be one of the most powerful Pokemon trainers in the area, so it makes sense that you would help people out. One thing I know I'm already so happy about is the customization options in the game. You can finally make your character actually look like you. We've already seen a lot of customization so far in the trailers, but I cannot wait to see if we unlock even more by finishing the story or by going to different towns and into the shops. I also really hope we get some outfit choices, as much as I love the uniforms, I'm not sure I want to be in the uniform for the entire game, and in Sword and Shield, shopping for clothes was actually one of my favorite things to do in each town. By far though, one of the things I'm looking forward to the most is the picnics. I have many questions about the picnics. The first one is, we're told you can find eggs at the picnic. How do my Pokemon end up giving birth at a picnic? There's a time and a place, and my picnic is not one. In the trailer during the picnic section, it also tells you about being able to wash your Pokemon, and that also gives me more questions. Like, it seems weird to only be able to wash them, right? So that leads me to think we might be able to pet them, brush them, maybe even feed them berries and increase your friendship that way. And in Sword and Shield, we literally got toys that you could use to play with your Pokemon. So I really hope they bring that back as well. Considering we haven't got any form of Nintendogs on the Nintendo Switch, I really need to be able to pet my Pokemon, okay? What's the point in making cute Pokemon if you don't allow us to pet them? It makes no sense. Also, does this mean our Pokemon get dirty when they like play outside or you use the Let's Go feature? Because honestly, I'd love that. I love the idea of the more times you release your Pokemon, the dirtier they get, and then you need to clean them up to look respectable. And then we have possibly one of my favorite things being introduced, sandwiches. Is it weird to be excited about that part of the game? I'm guessing we'll have to collect the ingredients and then try and figure out what you need to do to make a different kind of sandwich to the one you made before. And I have questions like, where do we get the bread from? And also, where does the ham come from, Nintendo? Where does the ham come from? I also really hope there's not mayonnaise, because I don't want to know where the eggs come from that either. But I might be thinking too much about this. And then we have the map, which is massive, and I cannot wait to explore all of it because it's freaking open world. I loved Arceus, but the loading between areas was kind of annoying and did pull you out of the game. So I think being fully open world will feel much more immersive. But honestly, I can't wait to see what terrains they are and how the Pokemon interact with the world and myself. Like in Arceus, I loved how some of the Pokemon ran from you and others came to fight you. And I just can't wait to see if the landscapes look different at night compared to the day, and which Pokemon lurk around every corner. I'm also so excited to go explore the towns. Not only do they seem larger than Pokemon Sword and Shield, they also just seem more full of life. I can't wait to see what kind of shops there are in each and every town. Shopping is fun, even if it's in a game. Also, it makes me wonder, do you reckon they're going to bring either the Pokemon Arcade back or the Pokemon contests? I loved those in previous games and spent far too many hours in them. So I would love to see even just the one of them come back in this game. I also just want Pokemon contests back because they were a lot of fun and you could dress yourself up. And couldn't you dress up your Pokemon, or did I imagine that? Because literally that's all that Pokemon's missing, the ability to dress them up in cute little clothes. And that would work so well, seeing as we actually have a camera on our phones in the game to take pictures with our cute Pokemon wearing their cute little outfits. Okay, next we're going to talk all things Pokemon. First of all, if we get the box legendaries at the beginning of the game, what do we catch at the end of the game? Do we know yet, or is that a complete mystery? Because honestly, I love the idea that you don't know what legendaries are waiting for you, unlike when you normally have them on the box of the game. I'm also in love with the Pokedex revamp. I think it looks so good and makes me so much more excited to catch a new Pokemon, as it just looks so much more aesthetic. But the real thing I'm looking forward to is the shinies and the shiny hunting. We already know we can find shinies in the overworld, which is my favorite way of shiny hunting. But I just can't wait to see all the new gen shinies we're gonna get. In my last video, I had a few questions about what shinies even are. These are basically Pokemon that are exactly the same, but just have a different color. Sometimes the different colors are very subtle, like in Pikachu, you can barely tell the difference. And sometimes the shinies are stunning. Some of my favorites is Eevee, who turns from their brown color to silver. Ninetales, who changes from yellow to also silver. But there's also some really smart and clever shinies that are my favorite to catch. An example being Wooloo, who goes from being a white sheep to a black sheep, and Applin from Sword and Shield, which goes from being a red apple to a green apple. And the thing about shinies is they're basically super rare. Depending on which game you play depends on how rare they are, but because they're so rare, people like me like to collect them. And I really wish that at least with the starters, they'd be really smart with the shiny choices. Like, for example, I would love to see an autumn-colored Sprigatito. You know, because Sprigatito is based on grass and, like, plants. I would love to see a version of Sprigatito that's either yellowy, like kind of dying grass, or kind of orangey, like fall leaves. And for Fuecoco, I feel like its shiny should either be green or yellow, like an actual pepper. That's all I've got. I cannot wait for Friday. And if you want to know everything you need to know before you buy the game, click this video here. I'll see you next time. Bye.